Start with the Hebrew Israelites.
It's the same motivation that creates black Christians, black Muslims, or even cults. And that's like, we have to believe something that helps us, that empowers us. And there's no greater empowerment for people than saying that you are chosen by God. We know that. The Arabs use that to create a world religion. The Europeans use that to create a world religion. The Chinese use that to create a world religion. That idea that you have a direct, not just connection with God, but you have a purpose, that you are meant to be the cream of the crop on this earth. Hebrew Israelites, and that, let's just look at that term itself, right? Hebrew is what's called an exonym, and that means that it's something that they were called. It's not what they called themselves. It's a term that was applied to them outside of their own definition of themselves. Now, keep in mind, there's one thing to say, that whoever the Hebrews was, the people that were called Hebrews, whoever those people were, 99% chance they were melanated people. But that don't mean that they were the same ethnic group or ethnicity as us. You steady looking at melanated people, and everywhere you see melanated people, you automatically think black. So yeah, the people that were called Hebrews, the people that were called Israelites in history, certainly they were dark skinned. I even believe they were Africans, I believe that. But there's no lineage of Hebrew Israelite or Israelite culture starting from where they begin all the way to black people in America. It just didn't happen, bro. Their claim is not even historical. It's more spiritual or religious, which on one hand, I don't have an issue with, because I understand the power of that thinking, which we said, you identify yourself with God, that empowers you. And that's definitely something that we need. The Nation of Islam did the same thing. What made the Nation of Islam so effective was Elijah Muhammad was telling them, black man, you are God, and the white man is the devil. That's a whole new train of thought for people who were told to walk with their head down when they seen white people. You saying, who had been told that they were inferior all this time. So it's the same thing with the Hebrew Israelite concept. Now, my issue with that group is that you attempting to define black identity to something that came a long time after your history began. You're trying to define yourself by this without necessarily understanding its origin, and that's because that's a remnant of that psychology that they created in you, where you feel like you got to seek God through their term.
All praise to YAHAWAH.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'Hashem, Yahawashi, Ba'Hashem, Rakwak, Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, shalom to the mighty Akim, Wa'akwafim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this foul captivity. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson is going to be on this video that I saw. Let's start with 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. For Yahawah is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Now, you have this dude that was basically waffling, okay, which the definition of waffling is speak or write, especially at great length, without saying anything important or useful. Second definition over here, it's the British definition. Okay, so damn, I was using a British word. Yeah, I did hear from British people, but basically that's basically what they were doing, and this is the best way to say it, simply because he is not really saying anything of substance. He did say that he believes. I think I want to see if I can get it. He did say he believed that was it that the Israelites were melanated skin, or that they were dark skinned and whatnot, but he just doesn't believe that they were us, that we were specifically with the Israelites. And it's just so ridiculous to me that you will have someone that will say, hey, yeah, you know what, maybe they could have been Israelite, we could have been Israelite, but not really, but actually no, with this, then the third, and going every which way but the proper way, all right, in just in an attempt to try to like fence sit. Like, that's basically the thing, sitting on the fence rather than, definitively knowing and understanding the thing that you are talking about. All right. Now let's get this, okay, definitively. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Most people might assume I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, but that's too basic. Okay, we've been there a million times. Okay, but but when the situation demands, I will of course go there again. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to give his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, Slakia, and upon thy seed forever. This is the thing. These curses, okay, the curses, like one example being Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, as well as all the other ones from, I think it's verse 15 and down. All right, they are all curses that are supposed to signify that we are in fact the Israelites. All right, and you see, and you when you read down, you see that we don't own anything. We are working for another man. We're not there in a lot of the men are not there for the children, in the children's lives. All right, we were taken here through slave ships, and funnily enough, I was doing research and I found more what's it called, nations, a few nations. I know of I did research on so-called, well, I didn't do research on so-called black people. That was just regular school history, when they were actually teaching about history in school, when I was going to school back then, way back when. And then I researched so-called Native Americans, and they were taken on slave ship. They were taken on slave ships to Great Britain, I think, or Britain, and there was also the Ainu. Okay, and again, the simple fact that these people were taken on slave ships. All right, Ainu is from I think Russia, or one of the Russian islands or something like that, to Japan, or back. I forgot which way it was, but basically, as a result of that, that is not that doesn't disprove that we are the Israelites. That basically just further proves that it is not a black thing. Like, and that's the thing. You have these people that superimpose this doctrine or this belief that we say that it is based off your skin color, when we constantly say it is not based off your skin color. It does not matter. You can look like an Edomite, you can look like a whole white person and be an Israelite. Okay, your appearance does not matter. It is your bloodline. Do you fit the curse? Saki, do you fit the curse? Do your people fit the curses? And that's what determines. Okay, that is one of the identifiers, but it's not exclusive to, you are or you look like a so-called black person, because there's also the Hamites, which are not Israelites. All right, anyway, continuing on, Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come upon thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanities, and things wherein there is no profit. This is another thing where they have inherited lies. They've inherited lies. They've pushed out this wickedness. You have these people that are lying for Esau, who are pushing out these different things to try to lead us off the straight and narrow. Okay, trying to make us think otherwise, think contrary to the literal evidence, literal proof that the Lord set in place for us to remember, so that we can return on to YAHAWAH SHAMAIWAN. All right. So this is where we are at right now. All right. Now, yeah, basically they have inherited lives, and you have people that have stolen. You know what? All right. Revelation chapter 2 verse 9, basically. Okay. So I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna get it out. You get the picture. Isaiah chapter, or you can read it by yourself. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Verse 13. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Okay, so you have these people that are trusting in oppression, that would rather be some random nigga, that would rather ignore all the prophecies, all the things that the Lord set in place for us to remember, to acknowledge, all right, to return to Him. Okay, because if you really think about it, and if you really examine it, us Hebrew Israelites, okay, all we are telling our people to do is to repent, to return to Yahawadah. We are not hurting people. We are not going around saying, oh, go do gang violence and whatnot. Okay, we condemn gang violence. We tell people to stop that, to get out that lifestyle. Okay, even the camps that I don't agree with, like IUIC, they tell people in ISUPK, I really hope, because I don't really keep up with them, but I'm pretty sure that they tell people stop the gang violence. You know, they try to put you in a lifestyle that at the bare minimum is better than the one you were living prior. All right. Yeah, once again, I don't approve of them, and I don't recommend anyone go to them, but still it's still a better lifestyle than you. And that's not even including, the people that actually agree with, which, is GMS, where they tell our people to repent, all right, and then they teach the proper doctrine, all right. So like these are the things where we're simply telling our people, us Israelites in general, are telling our people to repent, but yet you have all these people, and that's another thing. This whole thing is just about trying to disprove the Israelites. Okay, it's always this whole thing where we've become that big of a problem, where just telling our people to stop killing killing each other, stop being wicked. Okay, that is a big problem that needs to be addressed. That needs a big problem that always needs to be constantly brought back to be talked about. All right, and this is how Esau feels about this. All right, see, let's continue on. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's basically it. So with that, praise lesson was edifying. It was a short lesson, but a praise lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, SHAMAIWAN, Bahashem, Rakwakwadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Abad, and Shalom.